Most ghosts seem to be able to travel. They don't travel, and it seems from my experience in working with the psychics, the mediums, and the witnesses over the years, it's become clearer and clearer that they don't travel because they don't think they can.
Really?
They never thought of it.
Why are some ghosts here and not whatever the other side is on the other side? Why does that happen?
That's a really important question. And it seems that some people, for whatever reason, are stuck. They stick themselves. It's not like there's any sort of like mystical curse or something like that. So if you read a lot of books by psychics about ghosts, you find one psychic will say, or one researcher, ghost hunter will say, they don't know they're dead. Mm-hmm. The problem with that is that's a small percentage of the ghosts. You know, in many of the cases, you look at, again, what the witnesses say, not even psychics, when witnesses communicate with the ghosts, sometimes it's not just psychics, you know, people see ghosts. They find that sometimes they're in argument with the ghost because the ghost used to live there and they're like, get out of my house, I'm not dead, you know, that kind of. So they're kind of in denial.
Yeah.
They're kind of attached to their material possessions too much. Then there are those cases where the ghosts apparently are afraid to move on because they don't know what's next. Mm-hmm. None of us really know what's next. And if you have a religious perspective that you're going to hell because you've been told that all your life, I can see where you'd be afraid to move in, to go into the light.
Yeah.
You might be really afraid to go anywhere. And then there are those cases where they feel like they have unfinished business, like they never got a chance to say goodbye to their loved ones. There are those cases where they just don't want to leave their loved ones. They want to stay with their family, or they want to stay with their home because that's what they're feeling connected to, at least in our culture. Mm. And it seems that any of these, there are probably other components. We think there is one of the reasons we're even doing any of the environmental sensing with these devices is to see if there are connections between human experience, living people's experiences, and these things. But there seem to be connections between the Earth's magnetic field and some other environmental conditions and people's psychic experiences, and that means that there's probably also something connected to the presence of these ghosts. So in other words, it may be that the Earth's magnetic field feeds, the right conditions happen when they died, that they were able to stay. Because otherwise, a lot more people would be staying.
Right.
I mean, we'd have a lot more ghosts running around.
That's one of the questions.
Yeah, I'm really, in some respects, I think that since the majority of ghost experiences are one time, family members see somebody who just died and then they go. Mm-hmm. And that's probably 99% of all ghost cases. We have such a small percentage of the ones who stick around for any length of time, and it's probably conditional, so environmental conditions. Mm-hmm. But there could be, I mean, I can't rule this out, it could be some spiritual thing too. There could be a master plan, there could be, you know, something from the other side, something that says you need to stay here for a little while and learn something, or you need to stay here for a little while for whatever reason. We don't really know for sure.
Are there cases where they go to the other side and come back?
Those cases tend to be what mediums talk about as almost they're projecting themselves back, but they're not really coming back. Mm-hmm. So when a spirit medium speaks to someone who's on the other side, they are kind of connecting almost like a phone line in that sense.